You should still love a digital PlayStation ecosystem. Even in light of the recent news where Sony announced they would stop producing physical games on discs come 2028. I know a lot of you are probably scrambling to smash the dislike button and leave a hate comment as I'm saying this, but before you do, all I ask is that you hold off just a few minutes and listen to what I have to say, then you can let me have it. Obviously I haven't been living under a rock the past few weeks, and you probably haven't either. The trophy hunting, PlayStation, game collecting, preservation communities, and so many more have expressed their overwhelming distaste for this decision, and I agree with them. Losing access to physical discs is a horrible change on so many levels. Sony gains more monopolistic control, setting prices and determining ownership. The resale and game sharing groups of players get hit hard, as they won't be able to do that anymore, meaning they might not be able to afford to play at all. Games will be gone for good when they go offline and become delisted. On top of those, I just think physical game cases make for a nice decoration. These are just a few of so many negatives created by this change. Regardless of all the negatives created by losing physical games, you should still love a digital PlayStation ecosystem. I had to make this video because I've seen so many content creators and gamers come out and say they were done with Sony after this change, and they would be leaving or moving towards leaving the PlayStation platform. This is a knee-jerk reaction to the situation, and often a quick decision is a wrong one. While we agree no physical media is a step in the wrong direction, what are your other options? Xbox? PC? Switch? PlayStation is still better than all of them. Subjectively, I believe PlayStation has the best exclusives, UI, devices and peripheral ecosystem, achievement system, user connectivity, ease of use, aura, and so much more. Getting a little less subjective, let's compare each other option to PlayStation. Starting with the Switch, which honestly is more comparable to PlayStation's bonus device, the PS Portal, rather than a PlayStation console. The Switch isn't super appealing to switch to, as ultimately it's a console targeted towards a younger audience and non-serious gamers. Its performance is seriously lacking, barely being able to decently run most games, and if your reason for leaving is PlayStation going mostly digital, Switch is doing the same, largely switching to download codes, or game chips that require an internet connection and download in their physical cases. You could switch to Xbox, PlayStation's biggest competitor for years. The brands were in a console war for over 2 decades. But the war is over, and Xbox lost. Xbox has essentially done a clean sweep on its leadership roles and replaced them with a placeholder management team, in addition to shutting down or downscaling multiple of its studios. Xbox's next console, we're expecting in 2027, isn't really a true console anymore at all. It's more of a mini PC, and rumor has it, it won't have a disc drive. Xbox has already been moving away from physical games. Matter of fact, my local retailer I buy physical games at has a single physical Xbox game in store. That's it. PC is where I saw a lot of people saying they'd switch to, which makes sense for the Steam storefront, better performance, and games that you cannot access on console, like friend swap titles and alphas. PC, however, absolutely fails in the ease of use category. You have to install multiple separated launchers to play all the games you want. You have to use Discord and Steam in combination to have a chance of seeing what your friends are playing. There's constant updates for not only your games, but the PC's software, the launchers for the games, Steam, Discord, and any apps you need to make your peripherals work. My mic that works great on PlayStation took a separate app and double-digit hours of digging through settings to not sound like a potato on PC. Also, you can't lay back and chill while playing. Instead, you need to be right up on your setup to use your M&K. Personally, I also prefer playing on controller. It makes no sense switching to PC in a physical media regard either, as PC hasn't had physical media in years. Not to mention a PC that could perform on par with a $900 PS5 Pro would cost you upwards of $1,500. PlayStation still beats every other platform you could be playing on in so many ways, regardless of its step away from physical media. Even though we all agree losing physical media on PlayStation sucks, we should still appreciate that it is the platform that stuck with it the longest, is the best place to play physical media on, and remains the best place to play your games even if they're digital in the future. Admittedly, I'm part of the problem of why this change is occurring, as are many of you most likely. I started on a PS2 where all my games are physical. I'm not even sure digital was an option. I switched to Xbox 360 for the next generation, and almost all my games are physical with a few rare exceptions. I switched back to PlayStation for the PS4 generation, and started by mainly just purchasing physical games, but slowly buying digital became more mainstream. Not having to pop discs in and out was a nice convenience. The PlayStation Store also advanced the situation with games constantly on sale for a decent price, and multiple free games being given to you a month. Because of this, I rapidly built a library of hundreds of digital games, more than I could ever realistically play, making purchasing new games feel less necessary. Not to mention the hundreds of games you get access to instantly with a quick extra or premium subscription. Popular multiplayer games also made having the game digitally more common and beneficial than the physical counterparts. With games like Fortnite, Dead by Daylight, and Overwatch either having extremely limited physical copies, constant updates that defeated the purpose of being physical, or making the game unplayable on the physical version entirely. By the time the PS5 came around, the writing was on the wall. You could pick to pay extra for a disc drive, or go without one entirely, and most people chose the latter. I ended up getting a disc drive console because I think playing physical games is an important option to have. But because of how accustomed to digital I had become, to this day I have not purchased a physical game for the PS5. Any game I really want to buy, I buy full price on release, and I want access to it immediately, which is something physical can't really offer. For the rest of the games I get, I'm fine waiting till they're 50% or more off on the PlayStation Store a year or two down the road. I think we expected we would have more time with physical media, but the writing has been on the wall for a while, and the digital world of today made abandoning it too easy. What hurts the most about this change is how it was delivered. The announcement came out of the blue, and Sony refuses to have a discussion about it. On top of that, I think a lot of us expected we would get one more console generation with discs. I think Sony discussing the change more and offering a disc to digital program would go a long way towards repairing some of the damage they caused. Regardless of what happens with physical media on PlayStation, I hope I've opened your eyes a bit to see that Sony championed it longer than any other platform, and even without it, PlayStation is the best place to play your games. And that is why you should still love a digital PlayStation ecosystem.